Hey guys, Ryan here from benderwins.com, and today I'm going to talk about bankroll management. So bankroll management is one of the most misunderstood things in sports betting, but it's also the most important thing in sports betting. So it is very important that you have a strong grasp and you stick to the fundamentals of bankroll management. So in the beginning, I'm just going to talk about why it's the most important thing for a winning sports bettor to possess. Okay, so first off, it's important because you end up not chasing your losses. And what I mean by chasing your losses, if you're not familiar, is one of the biggest pitfalls in sports betting is, good sports bettors are making good picks and all of a sudden they go on a downturn. So what do? They chase. They start upping their bets. They start betting beyond their means, beyond what their bankroll can handle. And even though they might be picking at a really good percentage, because they're not exercising good bankroll management skills, they end up burning through their entire bankroll, and they either have nothing left to bet with, or they get down to an amount where they figure, okay, they're just going to throw it all on one game. And that's what bookies love. I mean, honestly, that's where they make their money. Yeah, they make a bit of money on the juice, but they make most of their money on people chasing and people getting in holes, okay? There's a reason why Monday Night Football is the most heavily bet night, okay? It's not because everyone thinks, oh wow, what an advantage I have on Monday night. No, it's people that got themselves in a hole on the weekend betting Sunday football, and they need to dig themselves out of the hole, guys. That's chasing, okay? And it shouldn't fit within your bankroll management. So the second thing is the flip side of that. It prevents you from getting carried away when you're winning. So we've been there where we've been on these amazing winning streaks, and you develop like a god complex where you think, oh, I can't lose. And it's the same thing, guys. Betting within a bankroll will prevent you from more or less getting carried away and betting too much money when you are on a winning streak. Obviously, we increase our bets when we're on winning streaks, and I'll get into that a little bit later, but we don't just, fire more money just because we're on a winning streak, because all winning streaks do eventually come to an end. So the other thing, it allows you, on that note, a long losing streak without ever going bankrupt. So that's without chasing. But I just mean if you never chased, but you just kept betting by adjusting your bankroll size and adjusting your average bet size when your bankroll decreases as well, it's going to prevent you from going bankrupt, and it's going to keep you in the game. So the other thing is it allows you to make better rational decisions. What I mean by rational decisions is you can rationalize the strength of a game based on a set unit size you have. So once you get really good at knowing what to look for in games, knowing certain indicators, signals, matchups, things of that nature, you can categorize those, and it's a lot easier to figure out how much to bet on a game. Again, you want to make this as much about science as you can and take the guesswork out of it. Okay, so if you have a database where you're getting indicators from, or you have something is telling you a certain amount to bet on each game, it's better to have a set guideline where you can say, okay, this is a 2-unit game, or this is a 5-unit game. And again, that goes in hand with the proper bankroll management. So touching on when I say, it's a 2-unit or a 5-unit game or a 1-unit game, essentially what I mean is that's a percentage of your bankroll. So there's 3 different schools of thought on bankroll, okay? So there's 3 different types of bettors out there. Your first bettor is your professional bettor, okay? Their bankroll is their livelihood. That's what they use to make their living with. So they have to protect that. So as a professional bettor, you're typically betting a much higher dollar value per game. Your bankrolls are going to be much, much larger. So you would find that a typical professional would, on average, bet between 0.5% of their bankroll up to maybe 1.5%. But you don't see too many professionals going outside of 1.5% of their bankroll. And again, we're talking about people with bankrolls of, minimum 100,000, probably 2, 3, 4, 500,000 or more. Okay, there are a lot of professional $1 million bankrolls out there. So again, betting 0.5% of $1 million bankroll, it's a significant bet. Okay, The second thing is you have your what we call your fixed bankroll. So these aren't professionals, but they have a set fixed bankroll. That's what they budgeted for the entire year or so. They might say, okay, I have $10,000 I can bet with for the entire year. Those bettors should be betting about 1 to 3% of their bankroll. So again, 1 to 3%, 3% being like, your 5-unit plays, 1% being, again, maybe your 1 and 2 unit plays. Maybe with a fixed bankroll, you might not even want to play the 1-unit plays, but leave that up to you guys. Your third kind of bettor is, again, a recreational bettor, and we call this a variable bankroll. So variable bankroll means it's not set at the start of the year. You might have, say, $5,000, $10,000, but you're willing to continue to add to that. You have a job, you're working, you don't mind adding to that. So with that kind of bankroll, depending on how much you're adding, you can go a little bit higher. Okay, so those bettors typically recommend 1 to 5%. So it's not a set in stone, fixed, static bankroll. You're going to continue to add to it and hopefully continue to win and grow the bankroll organically that way. Those bettors should be betting 1 to 5%. So again, are you going to keep your bet size the exact same all year? No. So I'll tell you guys basically, and this is a key to growing your bankroll and preserving your bankroll in the best way. So I'm going to use an average $10,000 bankroll as an example here. So what you're going to do is you're going to set milestones, okay? So let's say, for an example, that you're using a variable bankroll where you're betting 1 to 5%, okay? And you start the year with $10,000. You're going to set 2 milestones, guys. So 2 milestones. Milestone number 1 will be 20% above what you started with, okay? So in this case, that would be $12,000. So once you've made a profit of $2,000, you're going to adjust your bet size. The same goes that you're going to set a milestone down 20%. So if you go on a bad run to start the year and you drop that down to $8,000, you're going to readjust the bet size again. So the simplest way to do this is if you have a $10,000 bankroll to start, you're going to look at 1% as being 1% of your overall bankroll. So you'd be looking at $100 per unit, okay? So let's say you go on a nice run and you get that up to $12,000. Now at $12,000, you're going to readjust your unit size. So readjust your unit size, you're going to go back again and say take the $12,000 you have and now do 1% of your $12,000, okay? So now your average unit size is going to be $120. So when you started a 5-unit play for you, which is a big play, that was $500. But now at a $120 unit, that's going to be $600. Okay, the flip side is true if you go on a losing streak. So when you get down to $8,000, you're going to lower. Again, this is tough for some people because it's the human instinct. You want to pump it up and get your money back. But if you're a winning sports bettor and you can beat the lines consistently, you can beat, the 52.4%, or if you're playing reduced juice, the 51.2%. If you're a consistent winner, you need to do this, okay? So you're going to lower your bet size down to, again, 1% of $8,000. So now instead of having a $100 unit, you're going to have an $80 unit, okay? And again, now that you've dropped it to 80, when you get it back to 10,000, readjust it again. Same thing, once you've got to the 12,000 and you adjust to $120 a unit, you're going to set your next milestone. So maybe you say, okay, when I get to $15,000, that's my next milestone, my next goal. So this does 2 things. One, it helps you grow your bankroll in a safe manner. So you're never, raising your bets too quickly. The second thing it does is it gives you a goal to work for, okay? I mean, the end goal of any sports bettor is let's win as much money as possible. But, when is enough, right? What is enough money? So at the end of the day, you want to be cautious in doing this, guys. Again, if you guys have any questions about this or anything I didn't cover, please just leave a comment and I'll get back to you for sure. But, this is a tried and true winning strategy, guys, and eventually you're going to find if you're, again, you have to be a winner to be able to do it, but if you can win consistently, you can win long term. You might start out with $100 betting unit, and maybe after a season or 2 seasons, you could be up to $250 a betting unit, and so on and so forth, guys. So I mean, it's probably the equivalent of like compound interest, right? You're using the bookie's money to add to your bet size. Okay, so hope this helps, guys. And again, if you have any questions, please leave a question below. If you guys wouldn't mind, give me a like, subscribe. It really does help. And check out our new website, guys. It's benderwins.com. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.